Hello, and welcome back to another Minecraft tutorial. I am zu-wii-mama, and today we've got a little treat for you in store because you've probably seen the thumbnail, but guess what? It's the glow squid, the long anticipated glow squid that a lot of you have been asking for some time. I've got a little bit of a confession for you. The reason why I haven't done it is because I was struggling, okay? I was really struggling to not the shape, but the color combination, the block combination. I don't know why. This is the only, well, one of the only mobs, should I say, that I've really struggled with, and I had to look online because, you know, everyone wants it built, but I had to do it, so I had to look online. And luckily enough for me, there's a guy called Boscovink, or Boscowinks in English, and this is his design. So I will put a link in the description, so make sure you go check him out, and make sure you spam one of his videos and just write my name in there, just so he knows that he come from me, because he's got some cool videos on his channel. But anyway, like I said, this is one of the mobs that I've really been struggling with for a long time, and obviously everyone keeps requesting for it, so this is the best I could do. Unfortunately, I had to go online, I had to look at someone else's design, but by golly, it does look pretty sweet, in all honesty. I couldn't have done a better job myself. So but yeah, anyway, enough of me talking, let's get on to the blocks and colors, shall we? So the blocks you'll need for this build are as follows: warped planks 305, dark prismarine 4, stripped warped haifa 36, warped warp blocks 351, cyan concrete powder 249, snow 101, cyan wool 144, cyan concrete 215, and then prismarine blocks 19. And it's always good to have a load of spare blocks just in case I have miscounted them. But let's get on to the build, shall we? So just before we start building, we're actually going to start building this sort of base section of the build. So this whole base section we're going to build up first. So the legs are 17 blocks tall, alright? So just bear that in mind, because in a minute I'll explain a bit more. And I've got about 5 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I've got 4 blocks off the floor. But you can obviously have as many as you want. If you want these touching, obviously just build it lower down. So what I'm going to do is get into some open space. And remember, these blocks we're going to destroy in a minute, so you can place any old block for the time being. But 1, 2, 3, 4. So technically that's where I started my base of my feet, which is on the 5th block. And then you want to come up by 17. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And then on top of that, just place a warped plank. So effectively, this is the base of the build, which we're going to start building up in a second, which is this section here. And then we're going to do the legs a little bit later on, so you can actually get rid of all that for the time being. I just wanted to mark that off so you know how much clearance your legs will have once you finish the build, alright? So starting off from that block we've previously placed, what I'm going to try and do is do the outside of the build, and we're going to try and work our way in. And I'm just going to try my best not to keep switching between blocks, because it is quite a lot of block switching on this one. So with our first block placed, we're going to place 1, 2 to the right of it. Okay, next to that we're going to go with our warped warp block, 1, 2, back to our warped plank, place 2, then our wart, back to our plank, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's our first row complete. From the left hand side, now come towards us by 1, 2, 3. Then go with our warp block again, another 2 planks, then another 2 warp blocks, and then switch to 3 planks, 1, 2, 3. Now step on the inside of that, you're going to do another plank, followed by 3 warp blocks, 1, 2, 3, followed by another 2 planks, back to warp blocks, another 2, then 1 plank, 1 wart, and then a final plank, and that should be in line with that section we've already built. Starting from back over this side, actually, we're going to go 1, 2 with our planks, 2 warp blocks, and then back 2 more planks, and then 2 more warts, and then the rest can be filled in with planks, and that should be 3 along there. So that's the sort of outline and square of the build so far. So now we've got that outline complete, what we're going to do is just mark off where the tentacles will be going to be going. So come to the back of the build, you should find along the borders, you should find 2 planks on their own. You can place 2 random blocks next to it, or use yellow concrete. That's what I'm using, because the tentacles will be going here, so these will be covered up later on anyway. Again, spin on round and there should be another 2 planks. You can place another 2 random blocks next to it. Keep spinning round, another 2 there, and then keep spinning round and then the other 2 there. So they should all form like opposite each other, like so. Right, now from the back block here, what you need to do is come out by 1 and then across by 2. Okay, so we'll get rid of those. And then we're going to make a square of random blocks there. Okay, so remember the back of the build, come towards us by 1 and then across by 1, 2, and then start building from that block there. Okay, we're going to do similar to this side as well. So again, towards us by 1, come across by 1, 2, and we're going to build from here 1, 2, 3, 4, so we can get rid of those ones like so. Again, this one, come towards us by 1, come across by 2, 1, 2, get rid of those 2, and we're going to do another square there, like so. And then the final one, come towards us, cross by 2, delete those 2, and we're going to place another square there. And that should have a pattern looking like that. And again, that's where all the tentacles will be falling down later on. So for the fun part of the build, on the left hand side, so remember this is where the front of the body is going to be, at the back left hand side, what I want you to do is get your, whatever this is, warp block out, and you're going to start from this warp block here actually, and go 1, 2, 3 back into the corner, and then 1 towards us. Okay, in this space here, you can place a cyan concrete, keep coming along, cyan concrete 1, 2, followed by a wart block 1, 2, 3, 4, so that meets this side now. In the center, well, sorry, back onto the left hand side here, just next to this yellow block that I've built, we're going to get our stripped warp stem. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 towards us, and then in the center block here, come across by 2 as well. So you should have like a T on its side. This gap in here, you're going to do a snow block, miss a block and place another snow block. This gap here can be a cyan concrete with a cyan concrete here and also here as well. While the cyan concrete's in our hand, you can go 1, 2 there. Switch back to your warped stem. I'm going to go 1 there. Next to this cyan concrete, we're going to go 1, 2, 3. And that will meet this square at the other side. Back up here, while the stem's still in our hand, we're going to do 1, 2 from that angle. Okay. Oh, I fell, sorry. Right, now in here, we're actually going to use our prismarine block. So we're going to go 1, 2, come towards us by 1, 2, 3, and that should be in line with that stem. Then come back down, and we're going to go here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then back down to our left, we're going to go 1, 2, 3 this time. And then we're going to go from the central block and just pop in 1 there. I know it's a bit of a funky pattern, but it all makes sense when we're complete. Then switch back to your warped stem block. You actually pop in 1 here, 1 there, 1 there. This from here, going to go 1, 2 towards us this time. And then you want to do from here, diagonal, you're going to go there, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So you should have a pattern looking like this so far. I will give you a bird's eye view when we're complete as well, so you can actually see what's going on. Go back to your cyan concrete. We're going to go back down to the right hand side of the build here. We're going to go 1, 2, 3 to fill that gap in. Then underneath here, you're going to go with a snow, another cyan concrete, and towards us another snow. This gap behind us to our right hand side is just going to be filled in with a cyan there. Then get your warp block, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Stop there. Back to our cyan. Going to go 1, 2, 3. That close that side off as well. This gap is a snow block, and then also that's a snow. Then coming back towards us, a cyan concrete. 1, 2. Get back to your warp block. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Again, go back to your cyan concrete. 1, 2. Pop 1 in the center there, and again you're going to do a snow block there and there. So hopefully that wasn't too complicated for you. I know it was a bit of messing around and switching between blocks, but if you didn't manage to follow along or you got a bit confused, if you just pause the video here, you can actually see what blocks we've placed. You've already got the outline of the how wide and tall it's going to be, so you can actually just pause it, copy that pattern quickly, and we'll move on to the next section now. Again, I do apologise, but it's going to be a lot of switching between blocks, and what we'll do is we'll do that outline again first, just because it makes it a little bit easier to fill in all the gaps shortly. So from the left hand side, we're going to start off with this planks block here. So we're going to go on top of that, we're going to go with a plank, then we're going to go 2 warp blocks, then we're going to finish it with a plank, then again another 2 warp blocks. On top of that, you're going to go with our stripped stem blocks, 1, 2, a cyan, oh, not there, on top of that. Go back to our our wart block, 1, 2, 3. Then go back to planks, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's as tall as this guy's going to go. From this point, we're going to go to the right, and we're going to go with another plank, followed by 8 wart blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then back to your planks, 1, 2. And that now, hopefully, he says, should be in line with that base block there, which it is. Brilliant. From this point onwards, you want to come down by 2, 1, 2, so it should be 3 planks in total. Underneath that, you want to go with your wart blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4. Underneath that, a cyan, another 2 stripped stem blocks, then another 3 wart blocks, 1, 2, 3, and then finish it off with some planks, 1, 2, 3 to finish that off. And there we go. That's as tall as our little baby's going to go. So starting from the left hand side, what we want you to do is grab your wart blocks, and we're going to pop in from here 1, 2, and then come up by 1 as well. While the wart block's in our hand, you can just bang 1 in the opposite corner. Switch back to your cyan concrete, and we're just going to pop in 1 there, and the cyan concrete can run all the way along the base there. Come up by 1, across by 1, and up by 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks in total, like so. Then switch to your prismarine blocks, and on the right hand side here, you want to go 2 there. On top of that, you can do a square of snow, and that's like partly one of his sort of weird, is that his mouth or his eye? I'm not sure what it is. Then to the right hand side of that, we're just going to pop in a stem there. Above that, you're going to go with a sand. Above that, we're actually going to go with a wool. And that sets up nicely for the prismarine again. We're going to go 1, 2. On top of that, you're going to go with snow, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on top of that, you want your dark prismarine, place 2. So I think that's his eye. I think that's his mouth. I'm not sure. But anyway, we've done that. Then come on back down to the left-hand side. What we're going to do is get out some wool this time. And we're going to start from here. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. Come down by 1. And across by 1. And then above that, you're just going to pop in a cyan concrete. And then also go back to your wool again. From the left hand side, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, or 3 upwards. And in that central block here, you can actually place another cyan concrete like that. And again, on the left hand side here, above this wool, we're going to place another prismarine. We're going to go 1, 2. And above that, you want to get your snow block. Go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then above that, dark prismarine blocks as well to finish it off. All we're going to do now is work on the top section, and it's all going to be downhill from there. So from the left hand side, on top of this prismarine, you're going to go with a wool. On top of that, you're going to go with a cyan. On top of that, you're going to go back to your wart blocks, go 1, 2. To the right of that, another cyan, followed by a warped stem. Then switch back to your wool, wherever that's gone. And you're just going to do wool all the way across, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back to your stem, a wart block, go 1, 2, 3, 4, like so. Below that, you can actually fill that in with 2 cyan concrete. To the left of that, you're actually going to get your cyan wool, go 1, 2. Above that, you're going to go with your stem, and then go back to your wool, go 1, 2, like that. There we go. All we need to do now is just, while you got the wool in the hand, at the top left here, just pop in 2 there, okay, and come down to this left hand eye, skip a block and just place 1 there as well. Okay, so the reason why I did that is because it's all downhill from here now, and as well, sorry, I've just missed a block here. from that eye there, sorry, from that eye there as well, you need to skip a block and place one as well. And like I said, it's all downhill from here now, because guess what we're going to do? We are going to fill it all in with concrete powder. And I just found that was probably the easiest way to explain it, because now we can obviously just put all this in without keep switching between blocks. I know it does get a little bit annoying sometimes, especially when there's mobs like this where there's so many different blocks, just because it adds to the texture and obviously the the color as well. So yeah, it is a bit frustrating. So but anyway, there we go. And again, if you need to pause a video, you can pause the video now and just have a quick look if you might think you might have missed a block off or it went a bit too fast for you. So now we've done the front of the head, let's spin on around to the left hand side, and we're going to start from the top of the build. We're going to use our planks. We're going to come across by 1, 2, then switch to your wart blocks, go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then followed by 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the planks, and that should now be in line with that base block as well. While we're here, actually, you can bring that base block up with planks all the way up to the top, like so. So that's the shape of the head. Now from the left hand side, what I want you to do is come up by 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on the 6th block you need to place a wart. So there should be 5 planks beneath it. Switch back to your warped planks and you come back down to the bottom here, go 1, 2, next to that another one. So you've got like a little stairwell coming on. While the planks are still in our hand, you can actually come to the opposite side and bring it up by 1, 2, 3. So it should be 4 in total. And then while the planks are on a hand, you can actually come to the top and start from here, go 1, 2, 3, 4. So that should be 5 in total. And then come across to the left hand side and you're just going to place 2 more in here, 1, 2. So that should be 3 in total from the top to the bottom. While we're here now, switch back to your warped block and you can bring that all the way down to the bottom, like so. And then you can pop in 1 there and then warped block all the way across to the other side. And you want to place 1 there, 1 there, and then come up by 1, 2, 3. And then you can bring that all the way up to the planks up the other side. While the warp blocks are on our hand, come back up to the top and you should see this row of warp blocks here. You're going to go 1, 2, like so. And then just pop in 1 on the left hand side corner as well. And that should be enough of our warp blocks for the time being. This time switch to your cyan concrete, and from the top left where that warp block was, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then you can bring that all the way down to the bottom and then across by 1, down, and then bring that all the way across to meet this warp block here. On top of that warp block you can pop in 1 as well, and then just come across by 1, 2, and come up by 1 there, so you can place another cyan block there as well. And then on the right hand side above this warp block you can bring that all the way up with the cyan concrete and across by 1, and again just pop in 1 in that corner there. Now switch to your cyan wall, and from this left hand side here, well from the center bit, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 3, come towards us by 1, 2, and then diagonal you're going to pop in 1 there. Next to that you're going to go stripped, go back to your cyan wall, go 1, 2. Underneath that you're going to go with a snow and another warped block. I think that's our last one for the time being. Then next to this you can do 2 planks, 1, 2. Go back to your wall and just carry on coming underneath this warp block here. Going to go 1, 2, 3 to meet the bottom. And then you can actually do a row across the base there as well. Up and then up there. And then bring that up by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Was that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Sorry, in total. And that should be in line with this sort of eye tentacle-y thing. Switch it back to your warped planks, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3. To the right of that, you're going to go 1 with another warped warp block. On top of that, you can do a white square with snow, and that's his sort of, I don't know what they are, them glowy bits. All we're going to do now is just pop in a cyan wall just like there, and finally a warped stem. We're just going to come down from this block here, from the left hand side, this block here, come up by 1, 2, and just pop in 1 there. And then everything else in the center is going to be filled in with cyan concrete powder. Let's get all that done. And there we have it. That is one side, the left-hand side of the glow squid complete. Okay, so once we've done that one panel, we can spin on around to the back now, and this is the back, so the front of the head's there, and this is obviously the back. So what I want you to do is get your warped planks, and we're going to go from the bottom here and bring it all the way up to the top, in line with the top of the head. So it should be, that's about right there. And then you can go 1, 2, 3. Switch to your warped blocks, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then back to your warped planks and just finish it off like so. So that's the outer border complete. So now let's fill in all the bits in between. Okay, I'm going to try not to switch too many blocks again. So from the bottom left hand side, what I want you to do is use your warped planks, go 1, 2 in that corner. So come on over to the other corner, and I want you to go 1, 2 there as well, upwards this time. Okay, while we got these still in our hand, I want you to go to the top left hand corner, and again we're going to go 1, 2 down this side. Okay, and that's that side done, and then spin on to the other side. We're just going to pop in 1 in that corner there. Okay, so we should have something looking like that. Now switch to your warped blocks. Now what I want you to do is from this corner here, we're going to come down, across, come down by 2, and then across. Okay, and you can bring that all the way down, sorry, like that. Then across by 1 as well. Then I want you to come down to the bottom of the build and then bring that all the way across to the opposite side as well. And you've probably already guessed it as well. We're going to come up, across, and then we're going to come up on this side as well. You can bring that all the way up to the top. And then you can just come around the corner there, go 1, 2 like that. And then just pop 1 back in this corner as well. There we go, looking like that. Okay, that's enough of the warped stuff for the time being. So what we're going to do now is use our cyan concrete. So this time what we're going to do is go to the top left of the build. In this little nook here, we're going to place 1 there. You're going to pop 1 in this corner here. Okay, and then come down, and this vertical section, you can bring a cyan all the way down to the bottom like that. Skip this corner. And then from here along the base, you can do a row all the way across. And then you're going to come up by 1, across by 1, and then come up by 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that should be 5 there in total. Switch to your warped planks, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Back to your cyan concrete again. Just pop 1 in there. And then what we're going to do is just go back to your warped planks, and just the 3 that we placed, place 1 to the right hand side. And then we're going to do like one of those little eye things again. So go 4 snow in a little square like that. And then we're also going to come up, and to this cyan block here, you want to skip a block and place a white block with a warped just underneath that as well. And that's that one done. And then come down to the bottom right hand side, and we're pretty much going to do similar sort of things. So come from this block here, you can place a stripped stem. And then diagonal to that, you're going to play with a warped block. Then next to that, you're going to go a warped plank, 1, 2, and then pop in a snow just there as well. So you should have something looking like that so far. While you've still got the warped block, we're just going to pop 1 just in there as well, and that finishes them off nicely now. And we're just going to put in a few stripped warp stems. So with the warp stem, come to this sort of middle section here, come down by 1 block and pop 1 in just there like that. And then also you just want to place 1 diagonal to this block here. So we just pop in 1 there like that. Now we're going to switch to our wool, and we're going to just fill in all the gaps pretty much. So using your wool, we're going to come across the base here, all the way across. Then you can come up and across, and then up again. If you keep going upwards, we're going to use wool there and there as well. Then from this block here, connecting to that white, we're going to place another wool. And then again across the top, we're going to go wool. Come down by 1 block, and then come across, and then bring that wool all the way down to the base, like that. And the rest now can be pretty much filled in with cyan powder, cyan concrete powder, should I say. So let's just do that quickly. All the way up, there. So you should have the back of your squid looking a little bit like this. And what I'm going to do is, if I try and get the camera steady, it's quite difficult with a controller. There you go. You can actually might be able to see the pattern there if I went a bit too fast, so you can see the pattern. Might want to pause the video now, copy it down, and we'll move on to the next section. Okay, so now we've done that side of the build, we're going to spin on around and do the final side. And what we're going to do is we're going to copy the exact same panel that you can see in front of you onto this side of the build. So all you need to do is look across, and you can see we need planks. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then what we've got warped blocks, and so on and so forth. So if you want to just carry on and do that in your own time, go for it. But what me and my fellow subscribers like to do is we like to have a little race. We're going to see who can build this side onto this side as quick as possible, and whoever does it obviously is the champion. So without further ado, if you want to race, go for it. If you don't, obviously take your time, and we'll catch up in a second and finish the build off. All right, but for anyone else, get your blocks ready. Right, ready in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, I don't know what my strategy is for this one, because I don't like it. It's too many switching blocks. I think what I'm going to do is do all these blocks first, so I don't confuse myself, and then I might go on to another block. But yeah, for anyone new around here is watching and thinking what's going on, well, I don't like to do any retakes. Okay, so how you see me building now is me doing it. So when I do make mistakes, I make mistakes really bad. Yeah. Oh god, here we go. And if you might be thinking why I'm speaking a bit weird, or I'm not really, making sense, it's because I'm trying to concentrate again. I'm trying to build at the same time as talking, and I find that very difficult. I like to try and maybe do one thing at a time. Because look, there we go. Mistakes happen. Mistakes happen. How are you getting on? I am doing all right so far. I think I'm doing all right anyway. At least let's get onto this. I'm onto the cyan. What's your strategy on this anyway? I think my strategy so far is working all right. But this is quite a big build, this is, isn't it? I mean, it's quite a lot of messing around with blocks, which I don't like. I really do not enjoy switching between blocks like this all the time, especially these greeny sort of colours. Right, I'm onto, what am I onto? Wool. I'm onto wool. What are you doing? How are you doing yours? I think my strategy is okay, but I don't know. I feel like I'm going really slow. Is it me, or is this like a really slow build this time? Right there. I gotta keep thinking what I'm doing. Right, I'm on one of these like weird eye things. There, a little bit of that. Do you know what? I don't know how this is going to go. I don't know if you're going to beat me or not on this one. I don't know. I don't even think I'm going to beat you, to be honest with you, because I feel like I'm going proper slow, really, really slow here. What's going on? I can't see the colour difference between blocks as well. That don't exactly help, does it? And I think I've messed up. Why does that block seem like it's higher up? It does. Oh no. Oh no. I've made errors. Errors in my ways. There you go. Look, I told you, didn't I? There we go. Look, I made an error. Ah. Right, okay, I think I'm back on track. I'm back on track. Oh, God, this is awful. Right, get across there, across there. Let's get this done. Bosh up to the top. A bit of wood in there. Get that block in there. Let's have a little bit of sand. Why not? Pop that baby in there. We can finish off this bottom section now. Sand's all done. Sand's all in down here. Actually, do you know what? Have I just got sand left? Do you know what? I'm done, baby. I'm done. Oh, my days. That was awful. How did you get on with that one? I really struggled with that one. And let's just have a quick look. Let's just double check we've got it all right. Let's go spin on the inside. I think I did, I think I did. Did you beat me? Did you not? Let me know in the comments. That was horrible. I really didn't enjoy that. But anyway, that is the other side all complete as well. So now let's work on the head, shall we? Or the top of the head. Okay, so from the front of the build, what we're going to do is swing on by and go to the top of the head. And I'm going to try not to switch between too many blocks as always. So start with your warped planks. We're going to go to the back left of the build and just pop in one in that corner. And then swing all the way across to the right hand side and just pop one in there. And believe it or not, that's the warped planks all done with. Switch to your warped warp blocks now. And then go all the way to the back again. And we're actually going to do a row all the way across the back there. Then come towards us by one. Across by one, and then come down by 1, 2, And while we've still got this on our hand, just pop back up to this corner here and just put in another block there as well. So that's that section done. Come all the way across to the left hand side, and I want you to go 1, 2, 3 in that corner. Then you can get the warped block from this left hand side and bring it all the way down towards us. Come back up by 1, 2 on this block, and I want you to bring your warped block across again by 1. Fill that one in as well, that's 2. Then from here, 1, 2, like that. Then come all the way across to your right hand side this time, and just in this corner I want you to go 1, 2, and then go 1, 2 there as well, and you should have something looking like that. Right, now switch to your cyan concrete this time, and we're going to go right to the back of the build again, and we're going to do a row of cyan in there. Come towards us by 1, and then go across by 2, and then come towards us by 1, 2. Next, place a stripped warp block, then go back to your cyan concrete and go 1, 2 towards us. Then you should go diagonal and place another cyan. Then skip this block, and from here we're going to go with the cyan again all the way across there like so. That should be 4. Then from this block here we're going to come, well, we're going to go sorry, I don't know what I'm doing. We're going to go upwards by 1, then across by 1, that's what I was trying to say, and then up by 1 if I can place the block. There we go. And then also, while the sand's in our hand, we can actually just bring that all the way across from there towards us. Then, while we're up here, come across by 1, and then just bring that all the way up to there. So we pretty much did a big loop with cyan pretty much on that section there. Now, switch to your stripped warp block, and then go all the way to the back right hand side. Place 1 there. Next to that, on the left hand side, cyan wall, 1, 2, 3. A cyan wall just here as well. Now switch back to your warped block and go 1, 2 there. Switch back to your cyan wall, come all the way across and pop 1 in that corner. Then swing back over to the right hand side. So we're like juggling around here, aren't we? And then we're going to go from this right hand side here. These 2 blocks are just going to be wall in there. Come across by 1 and then towards us by 1. And then also a warped block is going to go there as well. A stripped warped warp block. Wood block. Oh, sorry, I couldn't spit that out. Now, essentially, what we got now is a big hole, and in that hole, we're going to fill, yes, you've probably already guessed it, and I haven't even got the block in my hand, we're going to go with a load of cyan concrete powder. So you can either place string all on the inside here to stop it falling, or you can place any old block you want. So I'm just going to quickly put a load of blocks there, and I'll catch up with you in a second, alright? There we go. It doesn't have to look pretty. All it's got to do is just hold this sand and stop it from falling. And I keep saying sand, but it's actually concrete powder. But nevertheless, all you need to do now is fill all that in with that. And once we've done that, that is the main body all complete. So all we need to do now is whack on this little guy's tentacles and we're all done. So let's get onto it, shall we? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to swing on underneath the build, and yes, you've probably already guessed it, those yellow marks that we made earlier, this is where the tentacles are going to go. So just to point out, where there's 2, that means the tentacle is going to start from there. Okay, so one tentacle will be there, the other one is going to be there as well. Okay, so on with all these ones that have got 2 on them. It isn't the inside blocks like that, okay, it's on the outer blocks we're placing them, alright, so just bear that in mind, because I don't want you having ski-whiffed and wonky tentacles everywhere, right? So, without further ado, let's get onto it. So, from the front of the build, from where the face is, we're going to do this first 2 section, alright? So, on this outer block, the outer 2, what they called, the planks, we're going to go with our warped warp block, and we're going to come down by 1, 2, and then come across by. Then get to your warped planks, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on that left hand side. Pop 1 in just here on the right, followed by a wart block, then followed by another 1, 2, 3, 4 planks as well. So you should have some looking like that so far. Switch to your warped warp blocks again, and for the right hand side this time, place 1 there, 1 to the left, and then 1 below it as well. In this section here, make sure you place a concrete powder. Then switch to our cyan concrete. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to switch to our cyan wool, and on the right hand side we're going to go 1, 2. Then underneath that we're going to use our snow, but we need to come down because we're going to place in some more concrete powder. So if you come from this block here, come down by 1. We'll delete that block, and then go 1, 2, 3, 4 with your snow or your white block, whatever block you're choosing to use. And then also the cyan concrete powder is going to go there, there, and there to stop it all falling. So that is the front and the first part of the leg done. Okay, so once we've done that one, spin on round to the back, and these legs are they're a block of 4 essentially, all the way up, 2 by 2 sort of square. Okay, so spin on round, we're going to do this sort of backside, and this is where it's going to connect to this yellow on there, right? So starting off at the top, we're going to go with our warp block, and then we're going to go 1, 2, come across by 1, and then come down by 1. Switch to our cyan concrete, and you can pop 1 in there. Come back down, and we're going to go with our warped planks, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Come back onto the left hand side and go 1, 2, 3, 4. Come back up on the right hand side and place a warped warp block there. And then below that, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 of the planks. Switch back to your warped warp block and go 1, 2, and then 1 below it. This gap just up here can be a cyan concrete powder. Then come back down with our cyan concrete, and we're just going to go in from here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch back to your cyan wool, and on the right hand side we're going to go 1, 2. And then we're pretty much going to do the same with the snow at the bottom. So switch to your snow again and go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then these 3 blocks here are now going to actually be cyan concrete powder, should I say. And there we go, there's the back of the leg done. So there we go, spin on round, and that is 1 complete. And guess what? What you need to do is you're going to copy the exact same thing over and over again. So all you need to do now is literally the same leg you can do here on this square here, and then you can spin around to your left hand side and do the same on these blocks here. 1, 2, 3, 4, remember, and then this one again, spin on around to the left at the back of the build, and again do the tentacles from there, 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 and there, and then again with that one, and the same with that one, and there we go. You will have your fully completed glow squid. I'm not going to show you how to do the other legs because we've already done one, so you can quite easily probably look across from this one to build the same leg, or just watch that little bit of the tutorial again, and then yeah, we're all done. So I hope you enjoyed that tutorial, and make sure you check out Bosrinks, who is the original sort of builder of this build, and I will catch up with you on the next video. I've been zu-wii-mama. I'll see you soon. Bye.